Hey, I saw something on TikTok. Some girl said that girls can only feel 3 inches. I was like, shit.
Ew.
Something on TikTok. Some girl was like, girls can only feel 3 inches. So if she said she can't feel you, that's her problem. I was like, oh shit.
Can only feel 3 inches and nothing more?
Yeah, they said after that there's no nerve endings. Like if she could,
try to keep it
like
back,
if she could feel someone's like joint hitting the end, like her cervix probably, but that's probably the only reason why I like short girls. So I was like, I feel like short girls have shorter
3 inches.
canals. You think is that true?
Okay.
Do you think shorter
proportional.
girls?
Yeah, of course. It's
Shorter girls have shorter.
No, they
Holes?
Everything's
Yes,
proportional.
like they're more
Urals?
shallow.
Girl,
Like,
I don't know.
like if a girl's like, all right, do you have any tall
I
friends?
didn't
a midget.
measure it.
No, I'm saying, do you have any tall friends?
Yeah, he's like, did you ever stick your finger in
All
or
of them are
something?
my size.
Okay, never mind. I was like, I don't know if you have like some 6 foot Amazonian female. She's like, man, these 3 inches, man, I can't take them. I can only take the hot dog ones, like Mandingo. Like
What's good, everybody? Welcome to Talk Rice to Me. I'm Jesse.
Juliana.
Christian.
Jay.
Mike.
All right, so today, Mike, I added a topic specific because you mentioned it. We gonna get everybody's opinion on fake tits.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
What the hell?
Okay.
No.
All right, Juliana, you ready for this conversation?
I'm ready.
Christian, you get the baton first. What is your take on fake tits?
I'm indifferent, man. I'm not really a boob guy, so they could be fake, they could be real. Doesn't really matter to me.
It's because, no, I'm not going to say it.
We all know.
Count your blessings, bitch.
All right.
Don't know what you got. But anyway. My opinion on them is if it makes a girl feel like a woman, then go ahead. But if you were to say if a girl had like bigger tits that are real versus bigger tits that are fake, I think you'd definitely, or I would definitely prefer the bigger tits that are real because it just feels
Literally.
Real.
it
Real.
feels there's more give. There's
So
more
you've had experience
give.
with both.
Yes. I've experienced
Oh,
both.
interesting.
Mr. Mike, Mr. Topic Suggester.
Well, I kind of agree with Jay. Like, I think everybody would prefer the real ones. But so I used to talk to this girl, and she was like a nurse, right? So I had no idea there were like tiers of breast implants. So I think the first time I ever went to a strip club, I grabbed onto something. I thought, like, man, this just like some boulders, man. Ain't no give. It's just like, right? Mm-hmm. And then like, and then I think I was like messing with another girl, and she actually had implants, but it's like it just felt better. So it was like I was like, when I was talking to the one girl who was a nurse, she was just explaining like the tiers, the price points, and then you get what you pay for. So sometimes if you pay for the upper echelon one, you could barely know they got implants unless you see like a scar or something like that.
Wait.
Yeah.
When you mean different tiers, are you mean like the material inside is different or how they implant it is different? Because I know they can go under the muscle, over the muscle,
Yeah.
and then I thought all they do is put in their silicone. That's it.
No, it's actually the actual material.
Yeah. It's either silicone, like I don't know a lot about it, but it's like water based or whatever. But
Like saline.
yeah, a big part of it though is like how you treat it too. So if you have like the one that's like maybe not as good, like you have to like massage them. So like
They drop,
you know?
right? So they can drop.
Yeah. And you have to like, massage them. Same thing with your lips. Like a lot of the lip injections really popular right now. If you don't like massage the lips, then they like will look like, kind of crazy. So it's the same goes for boobs.
Would you get lip injections?
I did actually last year.
How'd you feel about them?
Oh, I didn't really care about them. They were like, they were really plump when I got them. And then like now I feel like they've subsided. Yeah, they were really like that. But they subsided. I got them like a year ago. And I think it only lasts like a couple months. But it stays like pretty full. So like.
So you have to keep getting it.
Yeah. It's definitely like.
Botox.
Right. Yeah. There's like a time limit on it.
What was your reason for getting the lip injections? Like, did you just do it or like?
Okay, so my best friend is Injector Lena on Instagram. And she needed, I don't really care for any injection situation, but she needed a model and she needed to use this like new like product that they got in. So like she pretty much volunteered me, but I went and got it done, and it ended up working out. Like she didn't do it too crazy. Like I don't really care, so like I didn't need them like to be crazy. And she said if I wanted to come back and get more later on down the road, then I could. But it was just because she needed a model. But
Oh, so
yeah, I didn't like willingly go.
So you don't want to do it again?
I don't mind doing it again, but I mean it is pretty painful.
Really?
So, like like you have to inject. Like she does like the numbing stuff, like you get like a dental block, so like your mouth is numb, so that because she's like needling you along your lip line, so that's where she's putting all of the stuff.
It's weird because some people, when they get it done, it looks like their upper lip is like curling back.
Yeah.
And then some people, it actually just makes it look like their lips are actually just bigger.
Yeah.
And I'm like wondering why is it like that sometimes? Because the ones that where it literally looks like their lips are being pulled back, I'm like, that does not look right.
The most logical explanation for that, and I don't know much about it, but just hearing it from her is that like they're probably not getting injected right, or they're getting over injected, or there's like a lot that goes into it. So that could be it. I don't know where they're going, but I know one of your friends went to Lena as well. So
what is she? Wait, she works in Nova?
Yeah, she's in Arlington.
Does she inject people's like under here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she does like all of it, like all of this. I think they're like she's like her place is getting into like they even do like it's like I don't know if you're gonna bring it up, but the butt implants.
I was gonna bring it up.
Okay,
We can bring it up. We'll get there next.
So butt implants, like everyone does like the stuff that like the BBLs and stuff like that. But there's also like an injection alternative that like I don't know what they put in it, but like they put stuff in your butt area to like make it more like formed. I think.
Is there also a way where like they pull your own fat, right?
BBL.
This,
That's
yeah,
a BBL.
there's something like
that's
that.
BBL?
Yeah, Brazilian butt lift. They take the fat from your belly and they put it in your butt.
Yeah, but there's also like a much I would say like maybe less invasive version that I think does that. But I mean, like I said, I don't know much about it, so I don't need that.
Oh, because you all natural.
Period.
Wait, Justin, what's your opinion on boobs?
So, can y'all tell the difference if the breast implants are above the muscle and below the muscle?
Yes.
Because I can. Can you tell?
Yes.
That's a no.
So, so I know that the majority of women when they get from what I've seen, the majority of women when they get breast implants, they get it above the muscle because it hurts less and the recovery is quicker. But it's more obvious. It's like you can definitely like you can look at him because like come on, we dudes. Yeah. Everybody, that's there for you to see. Yeah. You can definitely tell because there's like the upper like implant, the shape of the implant. You can see it when you're wearing a bra. It's like pushed up, and then the shape and then like I guess the curvature of the implant shows out. Like natural breasts don't do that.
Also, like the nipples kind of look like little cross-eyed sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about like when they got the clothes on, bro. You have X-ray vision, man. You like your nipples is jacked up, man. I noticed.
One's looking left, one's looking right.
Isn't what they always compare it to fruits? Like natural boobs look like pears, and like fake boobs look. What do they say? Like cherries, basically, because they're so like perky. They're like perfectly perky and sitting really high.
I think that if you get the implants below the muscle, it looks a lot more natural, and it doesn't feel as fake because you're actually touching the muscle and not like the implant, and it's not as hard.
Yeah.
All right. But I understand why women do it though, because like my sister got them, and she basically told me she's kind of masculine. If you ask my sister, she's a very beautiful woman, but she's like kind of masculine because like she was raised up basically essentially by my father, so she takes on a lot of masculine traits, and she basically said that as a woman, you can attest to this, at the end of the day, no matter if you have a very masculine personality or very feminine personality or whatever, you want to feel like a woman at the end of the day.
Right.
You want a man that basically makes you like basically just be in your feminine energy and just feel like a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And usually as a society, we are more, I guess, into the physical traits now. Like just look at social dating apps. It's all physical. There's like no personality until you actually match. Right. And so at first glance, women want to feel more feminine. So women naturally with smaller breasts want breast implants because they make themselves feel more feminine.
Right,
And that's
right,
what my
right.
sister did. And she's like tall. My sister's like 5'7", so she's like already cutting out half the guys that are insecure
Right, yeah,
because
yeah.
Yeah.
she's so tall.
Yeah.
So she's like, I already feel so masculine because of my height, and on top of that, I don't really have any like boobs.
Mm-hmm.
So she says the only way I can think about doing this is actually get breast implants, and that's why she did it.
Yeah.
Should have just waited a couple years. Look at Kendall Jenner, man. She got no boobs.
Yeah.
Itty bitty titty committee.
I was gonna say that's the thing. Like it's like become more in now,
Yes,
you
it's
know.
more
But
natural.
also like after you have kids too, they like blow up too. So it's just kind of like
They do.
But I thought like they do like get bigger, but eventually they kind of reduce in size.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. They do.
yeah. Well, like I've noticed someone who I'm thinking about in particular, one of my other best friends. Hers weren't like humongous, but like after she had kids, they kind of like kept. So, and I think that goes a lot into like, how much you breastfeed and stuff like that. Like, I'm sure there's like research on it, but I mean, obviously I don't know, but like, I don't know, that's a thing now. Itty bitty titty committee.
Yeah, you got to rock what you got.
Yeah.
You got to rock what you got.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll say this at the end of the day, it's not about the size. It's really not about. I think a lot
not.
of women get confused. They think that like guys only want. Yes, there are guys out there who like care about pure size. That is there's that case. But I think for the general consensus, I think people care more about the shape, that's proportional to the body.
The second part, agreed.
You know,
Agreed.
Yeah.
it's
Agreed.
it's like you could be a taller woman. Like my sister, she's tall, but she went too big.
Because she's
Oh,
really
yeah,
slender.
yeah.
She's really
my sister
slender.
went too big, so they're not
Yeah.
proportional to her body. But she's about to also take him out too, because like she's like got a kid now, and it's like almost 10 years. And I
Yeah.
think you got to take him out after 10 years. But even she wants to take him out. But I think that as long as they're proportional to your body, or even if they're natural or fake or whatnot, as long as they're proportional to your body, is better than going too big.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, is the thing you don't think about too is like when you're getting them, like, you guys have seen like the examples, right?
Yeah, the
silicones.
implants.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you've seen them like on social media and stuff, but they're like the full size. So like when I think with women with like normal size breasts, like the bra sizing is all like skewed, right? Like so they say like that one big company is like really, it's like the sizing isn't right, but it's like the silicone, it's full size. So it's full size, like a full, like you think like maybe like a B isn't really that big, but like when you put it on top of what you have already,
Yeah.
it's going to like look like maybe like a D. So you
Yes.
might end up purchasing a bra that's like size of like a D cup.
That's what happened. That's actually what happened to our sister.
Yeah.
Because she's like, they're so much bigger than I actually wanted them.
Yeah.
She
So
she knew that. Yeah.
I think you should, if anyone considers it, like, I don't know much about it, but I think you should think about sizing down. And I don't know if that's a discussion that happens with the doctor, but I do know that the silicone example is like, it's full form. So it's not accounting for your like, double A's or
I feel like girls with
whatever.
like C, like anything around C. I've never seen a girl with a C cup that looks bad, ever, like around that size. It's all good.
Like real or fake?
Like real or fake. Like if the girls around a C, it's fine. Like, even there's like really small girls who have like B cups, but they look enormous because they're so tiny.
Yeah. One friend that I'm thinking about of ours, and I think you guys are friends with her too, but she had gotten hers done and hers looked great. Like for her size, she's really small, like, and they look really proportionate to her body. And then when you think about it, like I try to think about what her tits look like before, and I'm like, I didn't realize like it doesn't look so different is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of what you want, right?
Yes.
It's like,
Yeah.
and she also had told me too, she's like, I'm glad I got it done because like, obviously a lot of what you guys had said is like the same reasoning as to why, but she was like, I'm glad it didn't like go bigger or whatever like that because like,
Portion.
Yeah,
Proportion. It's all about the proportions at the end of the
yeah.
day.
You ain't trying to look like a no star. You're not trying to look like a star.
I mean, same applies to your ass. Like, if you have a huge BBL and you have like skinny ass legs,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just,
Oh, yeah,
like,
no,
so
that's just
silly.
nasty.
Yeah.
Wait. You
A
said
shapely ass is much more better
Yeah.
than like a
It's
a
like-
wider big ass.
okay.
Yeah, it's like 2 apples and like a toothpick as legs. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like what's that? Like caramel was the candy apple.
Yeah,
And like
yeah,
that's what
something
like
like that.
when it's too big.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know. I like my women with some thick thighs and big booty. I'm a booty guy. Wait, round the horn. What are you?
Probably more booty.
Booty?
I used to be boob, but now I'm butt.
Booty guy.
You're booty. What about you, Julie? Do you ever admire other women's assets?
No, I have my own.
So you just admire yours, like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, I can like see, like, I don't really care about boobs much either because I don't really care about other women's breasts. But I mean, like, you see butt, so you know, I always see like a shape of somebody, like man or woman. But yeah, I mean, you know, the booty thing is hard. You know, like Asian women, like they don't really, you know, the booty don't come around often.
Yeah.
So
It only takes a year to boob one.
yeah, so I mean, like, if you're the real thing is like consistency in the gym,
Yes.
and I feel like that's the only way. But like some people is hard for them, you know. I don't know, like
They get the hip thrusting.
yeah,
I
they
feel-
might.
Get the thrusting.
Honestly, I feel like it's not that hard. I think that women just naturally don't eat as much volume, and in order to like build a butt,
Yeah.
you need to be eating.
Yeah, that's
You know.
the thing, right? Is that like a lot of people don't understand. It's like if you're like lifting that much, you need to equally eat that much more, like protein.
Exactly.
and
I mean, a
stuff
piece
like
of it too
that.
is genetics, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, where your fat stores, some women store fat more in the buttocks area.
Yeah, that's
buttocks-
true. The buttocks.
in the butt area. And so even if you are like, you know, hitting the gym really hard, you can build your muscles really big. But if you just don't have those genetics, then it's not going to look as good as like a.
Yeah. You're right. You're
I
right.
didn't want to get into races, but you know what I mean.
Yes. yes.
You know, hey,
There's some girls that they're not built to have a humongous butt, and that's okay.
Yeah.
but it's also
It's
sometimes
okay.
an illusion too, because some women they have like very, very, very tight waists, so it makes their like butt even bigger. It's an
Them
illusion.
hips.
Have you ever seen?
Oh, yeah, hips.
Ever seen? You know who Summer Rae is? She's like the original IG butt model.
Yeah.
There's a video of her somewhere. Literally, she's walking forward, and like from the front and the back, her butt does not look big. But then when she twists to the side, her waist is so tiny, and her butt looks enormous, just because the angles that she's sitting at. I mean, her butt's still nice. I'm not saying it's not, but like, yeah, just like you said, she doesn't have like wide hips or
And the
anything like that.
curvature of your spine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, some girls be throwing the lower back out, trying to make it look like they got a booty. I'm like, hey, or they be taking pictures of them sitting on like
Oh, the
on the bed on the bathroom sink. I'm like, all right, settle down now.
One cheek up. And
One cheek up. I was like, I know they're just sitting. That's like me flexing and pushing my bicycle. I know what's going on there.
You got something to say?
I don't know. It's like you know, like when they prop themselves up like they're on the sink or whatever.
Exactly.
Like, you know, it's like 500K likes, a little scoliosis. There's nothing wrong with getting a little scoliosis out here. Just for the likes.
Juliana, I got a question for you. As a woman, do you ever look at like men's butts? You ever-
yeah, I like a men's butts.
Okay,
Figured.
because I've heard that women actually like guys with like bigger butts too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care if like a guy's butt is like big or not, obviously. Like that wasn't one of the things I listed last week. But I think like knowing if it was like bigger or not, like I think it would be like I don't want it big though. Like I don't want you to be like a freaking, you know, like bodybuilder, like showing your butt, you know, that kind of thing. But like I hate, you know what I hate? I hate like pizza body. I call it pizza body when you're like you're
The
Oh, yeah.
Dorito,
you're
the
super
Doritos.
broad up top, and then like your like hips and because like men don't have hips, so it's like if you are, you know, and it's like flat too, it just like doesn't look good. But like I said, it's not like a defining factor for me.
So you don't like guys like too buff.
You know, like the Johnny Bravos.
Most girls don't.
No, I don't like
Yeah.
that. I do like a nice set of arms, like here, biceps, right? So I like that, but I don't want you to be like, you know, like
Cut up.
Yeah, like
You just want someone who looks like athletic.
I want you to like be able to hug yourself.
You want somebody like what's the word? You want somebody that looks like they're sturdy, like they can like.
Yeah, like I want you to be like, you know, muscular, but I want them to be soft too. Does that make sense?
Who's
Dad bod, dad bod.
who's your like ideal? Because I know girls look at guys. Who's like a celebrity, influencer, whoever it might be that you're like, I want a guy to look like that, body type wise.
Oh, body type wise?
I feel like
Oh, damn, look at that smirk.
She would say like Chris Brown.
I was gonna say Chris Brown. I think he has like a nice physique.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's literally.
But I'm also not one for like, you know, I don't really care too much about like like the opposite sex, like about their body. Like if I were to like date them, that's like, you know, I don't need you to be like cut and like in the gym. Like,
Are you okay with dating like overweight?
yeah, I guess I really wouldn't mind that, but
More loving for the pushing.
yeah, I guess, but
Or what's it? Like
more cushion for the
more
pushing. Wait, would you say most girls actually don't, or most women actually don't want like guys to be like overly huge? Like most women want people to look like Chris Brown. Like they just want people that look like that, like body type wise.
I think that's like your ideal, right?
Yeah.
Like as a female, and if you're pretty fit, you want someone to, you know, fit that same category.
Yeah.
But I think like that's just like a, you know, sometimes it's like an unrealistic thing, right? It's like not everyone is going to be like, you know, as athletic looking as like, you know, someone like Chris Brown might be. But
I'm just gonna say this, in my opinion, I feel like every guy can look like that after like 8 years.
yeah.
That's just my opinion. Whether you have like terrible genetics or like if you have great genetics, you probably do it faster. AKA like Brad, that man looked like he was 18 years old, looked like that basically. Or like you have really not the best genetics. Most guys can actually get there within like a good period of time. They actually like try and work.
Yeah.
I feel like it's only takes like maybe 2 or 3 years of just dedication. You can get it.
Well, Jesse, if you're 6'1" like us, it takes a lot longer.
I'm sure. I don't know. I
But like,
think-
yeah, but no, I'm saying most guys, that is very attainable. But that's probably like good for most guys to hear because most guys probably like, oh yeah, they probably want some freaking like muscles. Like most guys, when they start working out, a big reason why they start working out is because of girls.
It's always because of girls.
It's always the girls. And then they
What
realize,
about health? Hello?
no. Everything guys do low key in the back of their mind is to get girls. Everything. Why do they get haircuts? Because they think girls will like them when they have a nicer haircut. Why do they work out? Because they feel that girls like muscles. Why do they try to get a lot of money? So they can buy bottles and buy nice stuff to impress girls.
Oh my God.
It's almost all of it has somewhat to do with girls. But basically, I was saying like guys, they don't realize after some time, I feel like most guys get this. Like the bigger you get, the less someone's gonna like you. Like less girls are gonna like you because then they'll be like,
more men to admire you at that point. So.
yeah, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, he's too into himself or stuff like that.
Yeah, what's associated with it, right? Like if he looks like that, then he's probably spends a lot of time at the gym.
Yes.
And how much time can he actually
Spend on
dedicate
it.
towards
Yes.
the relationship?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
No, that's a good point. And
Yes.
also, like, going back to what you said about genetics, like, for you guys, it might not be possible. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? So just settle down.
You do it the best you got.
Yeah,
You work with what you
settle
got.
down, okay?
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
and no one needs, like, that weird shoulder thing. Like, I don't know what that is, but-
Traps.
Ew,
traps.
it's so ugly.
Traps.
And I don't understand, like, every time I, like, ask, like, what my guy friends are, like, doing in the gym, they're like, oh, you know, something to do with arms or shoulders or, like, back. But it's like, what about your legs? You gonna leave them lonely?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm like the only guy in our gym right now who actually does hip thrusts. Is like very weird.
That is a little weird.
But
go off.
it's the only workout that like you can train your butt in that way.
Nice firm booty, you
Yeah,
know?
'cause
Like, it doesn't need to be, like, but, you know, guys, they're flat. They're like,
Yeah, it's like
know
it's
what
like
I'm
it's like
saying?
it's like
It goes
like,
in.
like I can squat and deadlift all I want and my butt will never grow just because how my body works. So I literally
Yeah.
have to hip thrust.
oh, okay. Thrust
Or just
on.
run. Just run.
No, if you run, it doesn't work because it's like
Sprint.
it's not even that because it depends on if you run with like a ton of leg drive, you're not gonna be using as much butt.
No, incline 12.
You know what I'm
3
saying?
miles
Like
per
it's the
hour.
only workout where you can work your butt in a certain way where it's just butt. There's a reason why every girl who wants a butt does hip thrust, okay?
I agree.
That's why I'm in there like doing hip thrust. I'm like, I'm gonna thank myself one day. I'm gonna thank myself one day.
I have heard that in general, when it comes to like guys and like their physique, women in general do not like guys who are too fit, like you said, or too good looking because women as a whole do not want to compete with their men.
Oh, I don't think about stuff like that. But I would understand as to why, because it's like then you're constantly trying to like keep up with you know
Yes.
the other. If they're like think about if they're like super into fitness, like if they're doing all that like stuff and like they're measuring their food and like macro counting and all that weird stuff, like then like you're like, you know, like whatever, you're like, honey, I don't want to measure my rice today. Like, I want to eat the whole bowl, you know? So it's kind of like, personally, that wouldn't work for me because I'm just kind of like, I eat what I want, but I definitely work out. And I try to, you know, make sure for the most part that I'm like monitoring how much I eat. But like, I don't want to have to like compete like who looks better in the mirror. That's so weird.
So I'll expand on that a little bit. So women naturally are more emotional, correct? So initially you may be attracted to the guy because there's physical features or whatnot. But as you get deeper and deeper into the relationship, it becomes less physical and more emotional and more mental, correct? And if the guy is basically constantly on his ish and always and like working out is looking like in peak physical form, you naturally are thinking, why are they so dedicated to the gym? Like, why are they like so worried about how they look? Are they like trying to attract other girls?
Yeah.
Are they trying to like, you know?
Yeah.
So-
Especially with y'all's comment about everything is for the girls. So it's just kind of like, if they're not working towards a personal goal, like if you're kind of just already fit and you're just trying to like maintain, I would understand that. But if you're not like doing it for like a purpose, then it's kind of like, what other motive is there, right?
Okay.
It's like,
You got a good point, but I guess I got to clarify that comment. Almost everything a guy does in the beginning, it starts with girls.
When they're single.
When they're single, it almost all starts with girls when they're single. But once once they start dating and stuff like that, like if a guy has kids and stuff, he will start working more because he's like, I got to provide.
yeah.
But when they're single, when you're young, the majority of the time, what you're trying to like acquire all that stuff for is for girls. It's just how it is.
Yeah, but what if like the guy is like super fit and he's like married with kids, but he's like always in the gym because he wants the other to look at him?
It's the same thing for girls. Okay, why do girls start wearing makeup and stuff like that? Why do they start learning how to do makeup even? Why do they contour their face sharper and sharper and sharper and sharper and show less and less and less skin and have redder and redder and redder lipstick?
You know what the red lips? The red lips is actually it's an aesthetic, an illusion that women give off. Basically, it shows arousal because when you are basically aroused and you're like doing the D with the guy, your lips naturally turn red because the blood rushes to your lips. And so when you wear red lipstick, it's basically imitating that look.
Oh,
So you're basically showing another man arousal.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because
Throw my lipstick away.
Yeah.
for me, when I see red lipsticks, I never think like, oh damn, that's sexy. I'm like, damn, that's just bright.
It's it's primal.
Yeah.
It's primal. It's like it's like embedding your. It's like every animal. Like at the end of the day, us humans, we're still considered animals.
Right.
We have very primal natures, and one of those things is your lips get flush. Think about it. When you're aroused, your cheeks get flush and your lips get flush. So why? How come when you do makeup, you put red lipstick on and then you give yourself natural blush? You're basically increasing your sexual.
Oh, I thought it was just to brighten up your face.
No,
It's maybe that's what it is now, but originally when it first came out, it was all based around that.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
All based around that.
didn't know
I'm
that.
telling you, it's like when you're younger, when you're in your lower 20s, like when we were all in our 20s, subconsciously, we were all doing that type of stuff to stand out, to like attract the best mate. That's what everyone does. Just how it is. Whether we want to admit it or not, like, oh no, I do it for myself. No, that's BS. like once you get older, okay, you can say, yeah, I do this for myself.
Yeah. No, that's true.
think about it, as women get older and then you have a family and kids, you don't wear makeup like that no more.
Yeah.
You don't do your hair. I mean, like you may do it like, date night. You like look cute for your mans or whatnot. But in general, you ain't like going to the gym with the whole face of makeup.
Oh, I don't know who goes to the gym with a full
Lots
face?
of people.
Oh, there's a lot of girls.
Oh, nah. I'll be in the gym sweating. I can't be wearing no
See,
makeup.
you went there for a purpose, but there's a lot
Yeah.
of women goes to the gyms with a full face of makeup and they'll say, I do it for myself.
Right.
No,
Oh
those are the
my
ones who were there for like 2-3 hours too. So it's like like it just stays there. It's like no sweat, no nothing. Because like if you're like gymming with other guys, like your friends or something, it could take like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, just because you're dicking around. The same girl that was there before you got there is still there after you guys leave, and it's like they didn't even look like they sweat at all.
Yeah, they taking too much breaks.
Or they're talking too much, or too many guys that come and talk to them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not
Most of the
that
guys
true,
they just kind of like snicker themselves. Like, hey, you see her? Like, hey, look what she's doing.
Facts.
She thrusting just like Jay.
I'm telling you, it's the only way.
Hey, but the funny thing is, I feel like every girl, like girls at the gym, when other guys are talking about you, and when guys are looking at you.
Oh, I guess so. I mean, I just go to a friggin' cheap gym, so I don't really care. I just be going in and going out. I was in there for an hour today.
I feel you on that.
What day was it
Going
for
again.
you? What'd you work on today? Booty?
Oh, well, on Wednesdays I lift,
Okay.
and when I lift, I only do butt and back.
You know what? That's good. That's
I need
good.
a nice butt, and I don't want fatty backs. So
And it's good for like back support.
yeah, I guess so.
Dude,
That
that's why that's another reason why I work your butt. They say everyone has weak butts. And we're like that's what people have back problems later on. I don't know, it's hella random, but that's the reason why I do butt.
Oh, okay.
I'm not trying to have back problems when I'm older. And they were like, if you have a strong butt, you will have less likely chance of having back problems.
Okay, that's my reasoning too. Then now.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, Jay, you can go ahead and say the next topic.
Oh yeah. So you were talking about one thing. You were saying like, oh wait, I don't want a guy to be too big because maybe he's trying to impress other girls. I have a question. Why is it that when a guy does cheat or does hook up with other girls, like if a guy is talking to a girl and he ends up like hooking up with someone else, why is it that his main chick will get mad at the side chick or the other girl, but not get mad at the guy?
Okay, so I don't know who that is talking about,
No,
but
it's general.
It's
Okay,
in general. I
well-
see that all the time. Like, why don't you get mad at both of them? This is dumb.
so from personal experience, I got mad at both,
Okay.
but I think it's just kind of like more of like a love thing, right? So it's like I think the way it is for a female maybe is that like you're like in a relationship with this guy and like, you know, yes, like he did you wrong, right? But like you want to blame somebody, right? You know, like you need to put the blame on someone, and it's like, yeah, you can give your man's shit for it, right? Like just like in private or whatever, you know, and like that will always be a thing between y'all two. But you can be like loudly upset at the girl.
Yeah.
And I think that might be what it is. It's like you need to focus your like anger out loud, and the only like person you can think to do it is to the girl, because for the guy you're like, you know, like you if you take them back, then you're
Yes.
like, you know, you don't want to continue the anger. You know,
Okay.
you don't want to prolong it for too long, right? Like if you forgive them, you need to like end it at the forgiveness, right? And then, you know, move forward. So I think that's what it is. It's just that like they so badly need to blame somebody, right? And who is the person to blame? It would be the girl. I mean, equally, yes, you're right. It should be the guy and the girl, but put like out loud vocalizing like who you should be upset with. Like, I mean, you're gonna blame the girl, I guess.
Interesting.
Interesting.
So it just comes down to basically women just need somebody to put the blame on.
Yeah, I think so. Like not like needing to put the blame on them, but it's like you're thinking of your partner, and it's like if you guys are gonna stay together after that situation, like do you want to constantly like be like upset at him? Like how is that moving forward? How is that forgiveness, right? So I think that's like a big thing. It's like how can you move forward if you're gonna like maintain that anger?
Yeah, but I think that's also like fake forgiveness too. So it's like, for instance, if like the cheating is like public and say whoever your friend group is, they find out about it, right? Naturally, they're gonna like attack the woman first or like the other woman, just so like, you know, it's like a front or something like that. It's like basically diverting that you're taking a dumbass back that cheated on you when, because at the end of the day, like he knows what he has, and then he thought he could like find something else or like maybe double dip. But I don't know. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but that just never made sense to me when women like start beefing with the other woman for like, you know, cheating with their man. But then it could be a two-way street. Maybe she didn't know he was taken, or maybe she did and she just didn't care.
Yeah.
But it's just wild that like the guy is like just free.
Oh, I
That's what
see
I'm
what you're
saying.
saying, because
Yeah.
the woman who basically like the guy, the woman that the guy cheated on, maybe she didn't know that he had a girlfriend already.
Yeah, I mean that could be a situation, right? So I mean, depending on what the actual situation is. I mean, I'm sure that's happened before. I can't even think of one off the top of my head, but
You do know that like when a woman cheats and a man cheats is completely different, right?
oh yeah, for sure.
So you know that like it's. Do you agree that it is worse if a woman cheats on a man than if a man cheats on a woman. Not saying that it's any worse. I'm just saying that like in terms of the like relational impact and like emotions involved with the people involved, it is more detrimental if the woman cheats than it is if the man cheats.
I mean,
If you want me to explain, I can explain
no,
it
no,
to you.
no. I think I get it. Who do I think? Which cheating would I consider to be worse if it was the guy or the girl cheating? Because the guy is what you're going into is the guy's like point of cheating is usually physical, right?
Yes.
It's just for the. But for females, it's usually like an emotional connection, right? So it's like, what's worse that like your man could go and like, you know, hook up with like X amount of people and then like you take them back, or that like the girl is cheating because she found a connection with someone else. Like, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the connection with someone else is definitely worse. That's why I feel like
Correct.
women should be, you know, not cheaters.
At the end of the day, okay, listen. At the end of the day, I don't think anybody should be cheating because, like I said, it doesn't make any of it any less worse.
Yeah.
But I just feel that when, like exactly what you said, in order for a woman to even get to that point where they physically involve themselves with another man, they have to be emotionally invested in that new man to even go about that.
Right,
So it's
yeah.
the fact that if your woman already is like feeling that for another man, that relationship is basically already over.
It's already gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
If it's gotten to that point, the relationship's already gone.
Yeah.
Whereas for a man, he could probably go out, have a hall pass, or like cheat, and he'll come back and won't love his woman any less.
Yeah, but you know, actually, I was just thinking that like if the man goes to cheat, why are you laughing? If the man goes to cheat, right, and like the girl finds out that he cheated, then it goes back to the fact like it damages the female, right? If you
Yes.
think about it, because they're like, dude, like, why are you going out doing all this crazy stuff that like I can't? So like, I think it's more damaging on the female if the guy is cheating. Like, so I think in that sense, maybe like the man cheating might be worse because like if the woman is cheating, she is trying to find that emotional connection that clearly is not there, you know, or that is suffering or lack of, right? So it's like if the girl goes and cheats, right, and then like comes back, like the guy is gonna be good because emotionally he probably was not in tune anyways. So
kind of. I mean, because I think like if a woman cheated, right, in terms like of a guy, and he loses like his girl to like somebody else, it's gonna be so like emotionally damaging to him. He's like, oh man, she's gonna find happiness with somebody else.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna be out here doing whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because like the threat of her being happy and moving on, or like say starting a family, that's gonna like wreck him.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Wait, you said like if a girl cheats on a guy,
Yeah.
the threat of her going off to someone else,
Because guys are naturally competitive.
yeah, I don't know if
Yeah.
it's so. You can say it's that, but it's also at the same time, it's like if you're in the animal kingdom, if a girl goes off with some other guy, you're just seen as the lesser man.
That's true too.
So it's more so like most guys will take it as I'm a lesser man. Majority of guys will take it like that. Like I was seen as less.
I agree with Mike too. Like if a girl was to cheat on you and then you would see that she moved out with another guy and they start a family, it would absolutely wreck a guy. Because I think men feel deeper than women, but women feel more than men.
oh yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
like as a woman, women feel emotions more regularly because of hormones, and they're just, everybody knows they're naturally just more emotional.
Yeah.
Right. And as a man, we don't feel emotions every single day. We're more logical. So because women
Some
feel
of you
emotions
guys.
more, yeah, some of you, okay, but women as a whole, because you guys are more emotional, you guys are a little bit more numb to it. So like feeling emotions, you're like, oh, I know this feeling, so it doesn't get as deep. But because men are less emotional, and when we do get hit by emotions, like they get hit by emotions.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I can see. Either way, cheating is not.
Yes.
Don't cheat.
Yes.
Don't
At the
cheat,
end of the day,
guys.
Don't do
yes. At the end of the day, yes, cheating is bad. But like I said, that's the only thing trying to say that I think is different because, like I said, a man should be doing everything that he can, and he should be there emotionally for a woman, so she never gets to the point where she seeks that from another man.
Yeah.
If she's at that point, then that means that the man is coming short in a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it also goes the other way around though too, because if a man goes off and cheat, this is just my theory, and gentlemen, please chime in if you guys want to. I think that if a woman is doing everything that she can to satisfy a man, whatever it is that the man needs to be satisfied, he won't go off and also cheat. But there's also another reason, like we as people in general are very communal, you know, so you adopt the habits of the people around you. So if you are surrounding yourself with very not good people who are basically out there doing like DJ and stuff, you are more likely to do it because you are trying to be part of the pack. So it's also on the man's, I guess, you have to make the right judgment call to surround yourself with good people so you don't get put in those type of situations.
Yeah.
And
I think it boils down to like the kind of person you are.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's so many layers to it.
Yeah.
I'm about to
Depends
say
on the person you
it's
are.
definitely what type of person you are. Like if you're a young kid, like a really, really young kid, and you basically, I don't know, if you have if you're basically when you're younger, I feel like you are more attracted to like looks. So a guy is more likely to be like, well, my girl don't got this. I'll go get this. I'll go get this. But as you get older, you'll be like, well, yeah, that girl might have like a bigger butt, but she doesn't have like a bigger heart or something like that. Or like, you know, she doesn't care for me like that. So it's different.
Bigger
Yeah,
heart.
because I think also too, like going off what Jay said, I think it's like in terms of like cheating, it's like more based on like selfishness, right? So the younger you are, you're more about you, you're all about yourself.
Yeah.
But then when you get older, it's not all about you anymore. It's all about you got to consider other things. So I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
now let's go into forms of cheating. Let me ask you guys a question.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Is liking somebody else's, so if a guy or your boyfriend or likes another girl's IG photo, is that cheating?
No.
Hell no.
Okay, good. I'm about to say. All right.
If it's a thirst trap, like, you know, ass out, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she
Yeah.
she busted it open.
Like it's not cheating, but don't you dare double tap that joint. You know what I'm saying?
It's an unspoken word to not do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Hey, what if you were scrolling through, you accidentally double clicked it?
You can undouble tap
Hit the
it.
heart.
You just be like, it was an accident, I swear.
All right. What about flirting with other women? What if the guy's just a natural flirt, just naturally a very flirty guy?
No, it's not cheating.
Yeah, I don't think it's cheating either.
Is that cheating?
Yeah, I don't think so.
It
I mean,
kinda-
it depends on the intentions. Cause
Yeah, what type of flirting is it? Like
Just flirting.
I would.
like teasing
Flirting, yeah.
Like
or
didn't you?
complimenting
Like-
complimenting and like if you're complimenting a girl and like that's flirting, I feel like that's a little borderline. But if you're like just kind of going back and forth, like teasing each other and like
I'll give you an example. All right. You and your boys
Bantering.
want to catch up. Y'all go to the bar. All right. And then there's a group of girls around you guys, and naturally they're like, oh, they look fun. We'll go up and talk to them. It happens at bars all the time. You know, your two groups combine. Everybody's talking to somebody. This girl, you're just hitting it off the girl. Next thing you know, y'all turn from regular conversation to a little flirtatious. You know, like teasing a little bit. You know, all that little stuff. Maybe a little subtle touching. Like
Okay,
Like
touch
that?
is
Yeah,
different.
touch is
Don't
something
touch
like
me.
that.
all right,
touch is different.
All right, okay, fine. No touching. Just like just teasing, little flirting. You know, is that considered cheating or not?
no.
No.
Yeah,
I
I'll
don't
say
Is that
no.
it's cheating.
As soon as touching gets involved, then we're.
I feel like if you touching someone, you're just trying to give it someone signals. But
Yeah.
like some people are just naturally more flirtatious, and they just how they talk to people and make friends with people is just like teasing people.
Okay.
So
you
like,
brought up a really good point. Like, what environment are you putting yourself in? If you are in a serious relationship, you're married, you're dating, you're out at a bar, you know what you can get yourself into.
yeah,
Correct.
Right.
I ain't going out to no bar if I'm married. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
unless your girl goes with you.
Yeah, but it's also like your friends too. So like what you said, like who are you surrounding yourself with that? For one, even thinks that that's a good idea. Like if you want to go off and do that and talk to whoever the hell you want, then by all means go. And like couples can go out separately and like have a good time and it not be, what bars, are for, right? Like to like mingle with like, what like single people go and do, right? But like if you are just going out and like your friends are like, oh, let's go talk, like, no, I don't want to do that. What is wrong with you? But like your friends shouldn't try and like make you do it just because like your girl's not there, right? Like that's like awful.
Okay, what I meant earlier was not like okay, I'll lay out some groundwork. Okay, group of 5, one guy has a girlfriend, other 4 are single. They go out, it's one of their birthdays. We're going to have a boys' night. It's one of the guys' birthday, right? They chatting over some chicks. All 4 guys are single and they're just like flirting, just like, doing their thing. Okay, you know how it is, Mrs. Promoter over here. You've seen it, right?
Don't flirt with me.
Okay. Okay. So the 4 guys are all flirting. So the 5th guy has nobody to talk to, but he knows that the other group, the girl that they're mingling with, there's another 5th girl there too. No one's talking to her. So he's just being like, you know what? I'm just trying to strike a conversation, preoccupy her. They hit it off. They're talking turns to flirting. And next he slips up. He slips up and it's like, what happens?
What happened?
That is cheating.
So
If you
no,
slip up, that's cheating.
No. We're talking about the product of your friends groups. Like, so maybe like, so that's what I'm trying to refer to. Saying that sometimes that like people do that because of the environment of their friend group and the environment, because he didn't intentionally go do that, but because his friends are all single, and like there's that chance, and he was weak and he slipped up.
I was like, I don't know, man. As a guy, I know where my dick goes and where it doesn't go. Okay.
Okay, for one, if you are dating me, you better, if those guys go and do that, you better grab your phone.
True.
It's screen time. Put your eyes on your phone. But yeah, I mean, I understand that can happen, but like, I definitely don't think like talking to the opposite sex is cheating.
Okay, true.
Yeah, like it's all about the motive too, right? If you have the motive to like be like, because you can, like, I'm friends with all of you guys and we've like never had a moment like that, right? So it's like men and women can have conversations with each other. And
Absolutely.
I'm sure if Christian went out with you guys and like you guys were talking a bunch of weirdo girls, he's gonna be like, I know my twin. He'll be like,
No, I mean, let's
but
be real. Like,
They don't
my
make it
bachelor
sound that
party,
way.
Johnny's bachelor party, like, it's the environment and you know your boundaries.
So you know what
Yeah.
I'm talking
And
about.
It's respect.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know where to draw the line. And if you feel like it's getting to that point, like, it depends on the person, and you know when to cut it off.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but also too, like, say if you're like the 5th guy, right? Sometimes you just gotta talk to the other girls so your friends can win. Doesn't mean you're gonna get anything out of it.
Take over the table.
It's like you put up like a time of like 5 minutes, right? And then you just keep on looking around. It's like as soon as you see like what's solidified, then you could just ease back and be like, all right, man. It's like,
Yeah.
I think like for most of us, we all been in that situation. You can see a group of girls, right? Not everybody is gonna be like good looking to you or like desirable or attractive.
I know where you go with this.
It's like they're not you're not attracted to them, right? But your friend is attracted to somebody in their group, right? So in order for him to like get in deeper than there, you got to go along and initiate, ingratiate yourself with that group. So
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel like all of us has done that at one point, right?
Yep.
All right. Okay. What about this? Is this cheating or not? Hanging out one-on-one with your ex.
Yes.
why are you doing that anyways?
I'm just open question. Is that, would that be considered cheating? If you were hanging out, if your significant other was hanging out with their ex one-on-one, having a catch up over lunch.
I can see why it would be considered cheating. But I would say like if there wasn't an open form of communication, then I think, then that would be cheating. But, there's a lot
I
of...
don't think it's cheating. I think it's
shady.
just not cool.
It's just shady.
Yeah.
It's just not respectful.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just shady.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, like, a lot of people are friends with their ex. So
Yes.
it's fine. Like, but like, if there's pre-existing knowledge that, hey, like, so-and-so is my ex, like, we're cool. Like, and then the guy's like, yeah, I know you guys dated and stuff. That's cool that you guys are like cool or whatever. And then like, I'm sure that that's probably set in terms of boundaries. I don't think it's cheating. You're right. It's just like, don't do it. Why you gotta do it?
Like,
Why do you
why
care?
gotta go?
Yeah.
Why-
I agree with you. No, I completely agree with you. And the thing is, I'm also the type of person where I think that you should be friends with your exes, right? I firmly believe that like people should be okay with being friends with the exes, because in my mind, I could be wrong, and it's different for other people. For me, if I'm friends with my exes, that means that I know that I'm over them, that I don't see anything romantic with you. And like exactly what you said, like I don't think people normally go out of their way to hang out with their exes. But like if the situations arises, and I can be cordial and I'm friends with you, and it's all good. If I see you, it's all good.
Yeah.
I just want nothing but the best for you.
Yeah. I don't want to
Yeah.
eat with you.
But I think that's like more. I wouldn't say necessarily they'll be like a friend. They'll be more like an acquaintance at that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's just like we all have acquaintances. Like you wouldn't necessarily go out of your time to be like, all right, I'll do this with you.
Yeah.
So
I got so many friends. I do not need to be eating with my ex.
No, I was gonna ask y'all something. Y'all, we've been talking about cheating a lot about cheating. Let me ask you guys something. Would you guys rather have loyalty or love? And are they dependent or independent of each other?
Ladies first.
Would I rather have loyalty or love?
Yeah.
I'd rather have love.
And do you think do you think they are independent or are they dependent of each other?
I think that they can be independent of each other.
Okay.
I think that a lot of people, think of them as dependent on one another. That's why they think that like, if someone does like end up cheating or something, it's like that much more like detrimental, because they're like, I thought you loved me. How can you do that?
How can you be
right?
unloyal
Yeah,
to me?
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. But I think that I think they are independent of each other, right? Like they're two different, feelings, right? It's like the feeling of love, like loving somebody, being in love with someone, and then also like being loyal to them. That's like its own thing. Like I can see where the lines cross each other, but I think that they should be independent of each other.
What's your question? What do you think? Loyalty or love? And are they independent of each other or dependent of each other?
I mean, in some cases they go hand in hand, but you could like dogs, right? I don't want to use another animal or something else as an example, but Beamer is loyal as fuck to me, but like dogs can't love you, right?
Really?
For real?
They can't. They don't have the, I guess, intelligence or mental capacity to actually like love somebody.
What?
Yeah.
yeah, I had no
Mine
idea.
is
Yeah,
blown.
they can't love you. Like that's the difference between like dogs and humans, because love is there's so many things and layers tied to love, but a dog can like will lay his life down for you because he's loyal to you, right? But when it comes to humans, I think it depends on, and I hate like saying it depends because there's so many layers to it, but like the stage of the relationship, right? If you're deep in, if you're married, obviously you have to be loyal to your wife. If you're in a serious relationship, you've invested so much already, you have to be loyal. There's a lot more factors in place. I think at early dating, I think loyalty is more important because you are investing yourself in somebody brand new. You obviously don't love them yet. Like you want to get to know them better, right?
Good point.
Yeah,
Good point.
that's
Good
a good
point.
point.
Right. So it really depends on the stage of the relationship. If it's later and there's a lot more tied to it and you're invested a lot more, I think they both have to go hand in hand.
But man, that's a great ass point, man. I know. That's a great ass point.
He's straight starstruck. He's like,
Yeah,
oh,
I know,
shit.
man.
Christian
Baffled.
hit that one out of the park.
I know, man. I'm baffled, befuddled, all that. No, but I'd probably go with loyalty over love. Just going off what he says. So, yeah, I'll probably go loyalty.
What do you think, Jay?
I asked the question.
All right.
You go first.
All right. I agree with Mike, and I think I would take loyalty over love, because I think that as people, you can fall out of love with people and you can fall in love with people. And like I've heard people say that like I'm falling back in love with that person all over again. So you see people in relationships, they for multiple years, things happen, life happens, and then you grow apart. and then it takes equal effort on both ends to basically come back together, and that's basically loyalty, you know, because you're loyal to that person and you're willing to go to those links with that person. You may fall out of love and you can gain it back again. So I agree with you 100% what you said, Christian. But on top of that, I want to tack another question on top of that. What's more important is compatibility or chemistry?
Wait, can I? Oh, yeah,
Okay,
wait,
I'll shelf that, but you can answer yours. We'll come back to that because I kind of want to extend that on top of that topic.
well, dang, everyone was talking about like made it into like a relationship. I was just talking about in general
Oh,
loyalty and love, because like like loyalty and love don't always have to be related to like romantic relationships. Like when we're kids, we always love our parents, right? And I'm always loyal to my parents, but there are times where, you know, you don't love your parents as much. You know, you just don't love them like that, or even like siblings or something like that. Because like, you know, I would say like Jesse and I, we haven't had always the best emotions with like my sister and stuff like that. But I'm always loyal to her. Like if she had something that was going wrong with her, I would always try to get her out of a bad situation, you know. But like, you know, that love will wane over time because you're like, it happens the same thing with, I guess, with romantic relationships. You're like, yo, they messing up. Like, I don't have that feeling of like compassion for you anymore. Like, but I will always be loyal to you because that's like where my values lie. So yes, I agree that loyalty is more important than love, but love is just like ridiculously intoxicating. It's like the craziest feeling in the world. So I think love is more fun. Loyalty is more boring.
I mean, ain't wrong, man.
Love is fun, but fun does not mean good. Like fun is crazy.
because if you think about loyalty, it's kind of like a flat line.
Yes.
It's kind of like
It's constant.
Just-
it's
just
always
constant.
there.
I was
Well-
gonna say it's kind of like when it comes to love, it's kind of like it has to be. That's a constant, right? It's like you're expecting that. When you love something or someone, you're expecting that loyalty to remain.
Yeah.
I think that's why for me, I'm like, okay, I want like I think love is like important. You know, it's like
for sure.
like even, you know, not talking about relationships, just friends. It's like I do have love for all my friends, right? But it's like because I know you and I like let's say like we're not like that close, you know, but we're just like friends, you know, like why do I have to be loyal to you? Like who are you to me? Like, you know, so
Yes.
like I think love is powerful. Like loyalty is like a given. Like
Yes.
you should be loyal, right? Like that's like a good trait. But like love is all powerful and
Yeah.
it is very consuming, you know.
Yeah, it makes you do some crazy stuff.
What's wrong with crazy? It's more fun.
It's more fun, but it also puts you through some stuff. It's like a roller coaster. Love is a roller coaster.
Okay, so go back. So basically, what I said was, our compatibility or chemistry, which is more important.
Me first.
You can't go first unless somebody else will take
Oh,
it.
I would say chemistry.
Chemistry.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Was science your favorite class in school or something?
Science? No, I hate chemistry.
I think chemistry is good for the initial spark, but like compatibility is better for the long run.
Okay. I'm gonna let everybody answer first if I get my answer.
Yeah, I'll probably go with compatibility. Because
Okay.
you know, chemistry could be like quick, and then after a while, just like, man, fuck this person.
Whatever Christian said, that's exactly right.
Yes. To elaborate, I think that when you initially meet somebody, so if you were to meet some cool dude, checks all the marks, great personality, but then I think compatibility is basically your values, your views, and like how you view things in life. Your staples. Like my thing is family is very important for me, and I want my mom is very important, my dad's very important, all that stuff, friends, all that stuff, all those type of value stuff, like religion, that all comes out of compatibility, right? You can hit it out of the park with somebody, have great chemistry, like I'll do all the same stuff. Oh, you like cooking? I like cooking. Oh, you like watching K-dramas? I like watching K-dramas.
I worship the devil.
Yeah, exactly. That type of thing, right? Like that. Oh, we got great chemistry, but like you said, chemistry can blow out. Like it can like completely like fizzle out. But if you got compatibility with somebody and you guys have the same exact type of values and you guys believe in the same type of things and you have that foundation, you can always build chemistry again.
Yeah, I mean, like, not everyone can build chemistry, though, right? Because we all said earlier, like, people can be dry, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
like, I think that, like, the chemistry is important, and, like, everything else that comes after that is, like, all evaluated, right? Like, just last week we were talking about, like, what you consider in the other person. So it's like, a lot of people want the chemistry and they want the chemistry to continue, right? That's a big thing in, like, I'm sure in marriages, right? That's why, like, marriages sometimes end up failing. But I'm just saying, it's like when you're like immediately like, I'm compatible with each and every one of you guys. That's why we're friends, right? But we don't
Oh,
have the
good point.
chemistry.
Good point.
And
Good
ill.
point.
Like,
Yeah.
no chemistry over here.
I mean,
Take your science away
I
from
don't
me.
think it's just a one-way street. It's a two-way street.
But I'm just saying, you know, like, I'm compatible with you. Like, you know, I'm compatible with you. Like, why didn't I date Christian instead of introducing Geraldine? You know, it's just kind of like, just because, like, the compatibility, yes, it's, like, rooted, right? Like, that's important. But, like, ultimately, like, when you met her, you were like, oh, like, you know, you guys, like, you know, got along and had a
like,
good
who's Shorty?
time. Yeah. Who's Shorty? But, like, the compatibility ends up coming in the long run anyways, right? It's like, and then you always, like, look back on it too, and you're like if compatibility was the failing factor and you, like, the relationship doesn't work out, you usually look back and you're like, oh, we had, like, super good chemistry, but, like, you know, unfortunately we weren't compatible, and that's okay. But it's like, if you're basing the relationship initially on your compatibility, like, what are your long-term goals? What are your short-term goals? Like, who the hell cares? Like, do you even, like, get along with this person? Can you see yourself getting along with them for the rest of your life? I think that's so much more important, because just like you're saying, yeah, chemistry can be built. No, it can't. We already know some people are dry as hell. But, like, compatibility can be built, right? It's like, you know, I'm not talking about, like, if you're a devout Christian and you're, like, dating a satanic person, you know?
That's an extreme.
You know, that's, like, kind of crazy. But I'm saying, like, you know, if I'm Christian and I'm dating someone that is, like, Buddhist, you know, just because we're not the same religion, we still have the same base of, like, what religion is about, right? It's like all those, like, you know,
Good values,
pillars
wholesome
and
values.
stuff. Yeah. So
I have a good example about this. Okay, so I went on a date with a Muslim girl once. She was actually Chinese Muslim. All right.
Oh.
All right. So I didn't know, but it was fun to say. Oh, she brought it up and said, "What is your religion?" I said, "I'm Christian." And she says, "Well, I'm Muslim, and in the Muslim, I guess, teachings, Muslim women are not allowed to date outside the Muslim religion.
Right.
But Muslim men can date outside the Muslim religion. So a Muslim man can marry a Christian woman, but a Muslim woman can't marry a Christian man, right? So that to me is what I'm talking about, like compatibility, right? And so usually when you meet somebody new and you're just hitting it off that person, you're subconsciously asking this type of, like, compatibility questions, like, hey, like, what's your view on this? Like, what's your background? Where are you from? Those are all compatibility questions, right? And so naturally, as you feel compatible, that's when you start getting to know their personality, which is the chemistry. Because if you think about, like, where you were, think about yourself 5 years ago. Were you not a different person?
same but different.
Same, but different, right?
But still same.
Right? Would you say you're different so we'll say 5 years ago, would you say you were somewhat a different person and your interests were kind of different?
Yeah, no, different. Like, you know, you change in other areas. Like, you get better or you regress in certain areas. So you're just completely different overall. There might be aspects of you that people know you of a view.
Yeah.
But in general, like, if you're, like, still the same person 5 years ago, I would probably have to, like, look at you a little bit weird. You know what I'm saying?
Big facts.
That's true.
And that's basically what I mean. So, like, people change every couple of years. People always change. So, like, who you are compatibility wise with somebody else, maybe 5 years ago, you're not gonna be compatible with the same person 5 years later unless y'all have that chemistry. Sorry, you won't have the same type of chemistry you have with somebody 5 years ago that you would have today unless you have that compatibility to keep y'all together, to want to grow together.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by that.
I just think that, like, your chemistry is based off of your compatibility, right? So it's like, you know, I'm not, you know, sitting there, like, trying to get to know someone who I'm like, you know, doesn't share, like, if they think, like, you know, dogs are stupid, and they want to like eat them, then I'm gonna be like, whoa, the chemistry's gone. I hate science now.
Why we
You know,
jump
like,
into extremes?
I'm just saying.
Or dogs and stuff. Like, why can we get some like
Christian.
vanilla comparisons?
Christian, as the only married person here, soon to be everybody here, hopefully.
Never.
Speak it. No, Juliana, you got to speak it into existence. But as the only married person here, what is your? Do you think that chemistry can wane between in a long-term relationship?
I think so, because I think you brought up a point where you both evolve over time. You're not the same person as you were last year. You both have to evolve together and take into account that everyone changes mentally, physically, and you just have to adapt to it, right? And your willingness to adapt is what. Just I'm gonna be straight up, man. Like, dude, relationships and marriage are work. Like, that sounds so cliche, but it is really a lot of work. And if you don't put the work in, it's gonna fail. Right?
Yep. You know, I think there was one of those TikToks that we were sending to each other about relationships, and they said that they were like, over time, people talk about compatibility, attachment styles, this, that, and the other. In the end, everything works. Everything works as long as you can compromise for it. It's like people just don't want to compromise as much, or people compromise more. That's the only difference between a good relationship and a bad relationship. That's it.
So zodiac
Everything
sign
works.
Zodiac signs work.
No, I'm saying every single thing, like, oh, like I need to do this more, they need to do this more. All that stuff works. Like every single way of how a relationship works, it works. You just got to be willing to accept, oh, I need to change to make it work. That's it. And most people hate to change. That's why most relationships don't work.
Okay.
Because you're not just by yourself anymore.
Exactly.
You are
A unit.
a unit.
You are a
and
unit.
You can't be selfish
Yep.
anymore.
Every single cliche about relationships is just real in the end.
Yeah, that's true.
If you want to be selfish, then don't be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Period.
Okay. Any thoughts, Mike?
Oh, no, man, y'all basically hit it. I mean, I was gonna bring up, the can't even talk today, compatibility and chemistry. Say, like, if we're not talking about like in terms like a a relationship, in terms of like say just amongst friends and stuff like that. Like you see that in Nova all the time. People become fast friends, mainly women, right? 2 weeks, best friends, chemistry. After the chemistry gone, boom, beef. Like start talking behind each other's back. Like, oh, like this person or that person. Damn well what I'm talking about.
Not me. I'm a woman.
No, I'm not talking about in our friends group, but just like in general, because we used to go out so heavily back in the day. Like
yeah.
it's like a 5-year stretch that we're just in DC and clubs
Yeah.
like every weekend. So
Those are
Yeah.
good days.
No, man. Oh my God.
Good old days. I mean, like, and also like when you're talking about friendships, like chemistry is like a big thing, right? Like if you didn't get along with your friends, like if that chemistry of getting along wasn't there, like I don't care if you're my friend and you like, don't like, I'll keep it vanilla for you. If you like don't like Korean barbecue, like, okay, well, first of all, that's not compatible, but like still at the same time, like we are cool, we're good friends, like we can be friends or we can be good friends or whatever, whatever level of friendship. So it's like I think chemistry is like just as important. And again, in my mind, I think like the compatibility stuff is like a given. Like, hello,
Correct.
you better like Korean barbecue.
What if they don't like Korean barbecue?
Get out of here.
Everyone here like Korean barbecue?
I hope so.
Who's team beef? Raise your hand if you're team beef.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what's team beef?
Or you team pork.
You like pork?
Like brisket?
Brisket,
No,
yeah.
brisket's
Team
beef.
beef. All right.
Brisket all day.
All right.
Both though.
Let me ask you, Juliana. Let me ask you, as the only woman here, you are representing the women's population.
The whole female population.
All right. Why is it that women like toxic men so much and choose them over the nice guys that would treat them right? It always seems that every girl has that nice guy in their back pocket who would treat them like gold, treat them like royalty, worship the feet that they walk on, kiss their toes,
Yeah.
right? But they choose not to get the guy who would treat them right, not the one that will be loyal to them. They choose the toxic guy that's going to cheat on her.
I think I've like read or heard that it's more about the excitement,
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
Yeah, I
It's
would have
like
to agree with the excitement.
I think women like I think men and women like equally like love the chase, right? And eventually when that dies is when like obviously for women they want that to come to an end, right? Like, and then to settle down or hopefully settle down and get a relationship or get whatever the heck they want.
Does it ever
from
go
it.
away?
What?
What is that?
Ooh,
Does every girl what?
Does it ever go away?
That's
The
a good question.
chase?
You know,
I think the chase should resume in some form or fashion, like dating, marriage, and stuff like that. But it obviously not as like strong as like the initial.
I think you replace the chase with like just a different form of excitement.
Yeah, that's
Whether that
true.
be like date nights or you do like kinky stuff in the bedroom or something like that. I feel like that's the
Yeah.
only way
Yeah,
to keep it going.
I don't know. I think it's really the excitement of it. It's like, this guy wants me, but he's so nice. He's like,
too easy already.
too
yeah,
easy.
opening the door,
It's
like
Or it's
too
like,
easy.
or they're
You
not
know, like-
assertive enough.
paying. What'd you say?
They're not assertive enough. That could
Yeah,
be a thing
that's
too.
true too. That's a big thing,
Well,
right?
it kind of
Like,
ties in with excitement too, right? So, like if you just sit back and expect things to come to you, like you're not just gonna get anything. So.
yeah. Assertiveness.
You don't appreciate what you can get easily.
So what's the right level of assertiveness and being too pushy then?
Wait.
'Cause
I feel
I-
like
'cause-
pushy and assertiveness are a little different.
But like asserting your dominance, right? Kind of what you're saying. It like basically. Well, so what is example of asserting? Your example of asserting yourself.
Like say, are we talking about like just in life or just in terms of courting somebody, like dating?
Let's talk about courting somebody.
In terms of courting, like I think for a woman, like being assertive, right? It's like, hey, I'm gonna take you out like on a Wednesday. We're going here at this time.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like you can't be like, hey, if you're free next week, let me know what day and time.
Perhaps.
Perhaps
Yeah,
dinner.
Like instead of a one word, like a one reply back or something, it's like a 5, 6 something in exchange. So I think it's like just like cutting out like the BS a little bit there.
Okay, but what? Okay.
Damn. I said perhaps.
Is
the
that
other
is
day.
that we're better?
Oh no, you're out of here, man. You're out of here.
Oh God.
Wait, so it was better for a guy to do that. Just be like, Juliana, next Friday, me and you, dinner, 8:00.
Well, we had this conversation
Yeah.
last week,
Yeah.
and like, I need to know what the restaurant is because even before we went to go eat today, I was like, I'll get back to you. Like, but no, I mean, I think you're right though. Like the balance of being assertive and then being like too much of a nice guy. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Like, no, don't be an asshole. Like, obviously, but at the same time, it's like give a little bit too, especially like in the beginning, right? That's the whole point of trying to court someone. Like as much as like men are courting women, like women are equally courting men. So it's kind of like I think the push and the pull is like important because then it, that's obviously more exciting. But like when I think, and it's also true. It's like when you know that someone's always there, you're kind of like, oh.
Taken for granted.
Yeah. And it might not be intentional for like somebody, like man or woman. It might not be intentional, but it's just kind of like, oh, like, well, they're there while, I can go,
It's like that for everything in life, though. Think about it. All of us when we were kids. If your mom or dad bought you something, you probably didn't take care of it. But the first thing you bought yourself, you protected it with your life because you actually worked hard to get it. Versus someone else just gave it to you. And like, if someone just gives you their attention all the time, you're not going to appreciate that attention. And why do bad boys and toxic people always win? Because they don't give people their attention. So I guess the good balance between like assertiveness and compassion is when you do give them attention, you are compassionate, but you just don't give them that attention 24/7. And then you're good.
Or don't be too available.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
that's very
Attention. Don't give them that attention 24/7. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I have time this Friday. Let's hang out. All right, cool. Then you can like cool out and not literally don't blow up their phone every day. Good morning, good night. Like that's a little too much. I feel like.
Yeah.
And I'm a dude. I don't think I've ever said good morning, good night in years. Maybe like one time and you were in person. Like if you're in person, okay, fine. Say good morning, good night. But like,
That's a little wild, man. In person, saying good morning, good night.
You roll over. Good
Well,
morning.
we see how well that worked out, right, Jay?
for me,
Yeah. No good mornings, no good nights.
Oh, it's basically you're still single.
I mean, why I'm single is not. That's not the reason why.
Hey, Christian,
It might be.
Christian, do you still say
here we
good
go.
morning to your wife
I do.
every morning?
Yeah. we
He's
do.
there in person though. That's what I'm saying. If you're in person, it's different. But you're not gonna be texting someone good morning, good night every day.
If she's up, I'll say good morning. If she's still sleeping, I'm obviously not gonna
Yeah.
wake her up to say good morning.
When you guys are
Good morning.
okay, so if you guys you guys have been in instances where you've traveled or she's traveled, right? Okay. Do you still text her good morning when
Yeah.
she's traveling?
Yeah.
All right.
Like, hey,
Taking notes.
I'm alive. I'm good. You
Taking
good?
notes.
Cool.
I'm taking notes.
Jay, write it down.
I'm just saying, like, you don't want to suffocate someone with attention.
Hey Mike, you earlier you said be assertive. So is that how you be doing it?
No, I'm super laid back. That's not who I am. No, I'm not even gonna lie to you. No, like I'll ask like if you're free, and then like evening or something like that, and then like for me like I like doing things like more like spontaneous. So like I kind of like all right, we get like a general frame of what we're gonna do, but it's not like set in stone. We could like like deviate or like pivot from one idea to another. So it's just like just locking in the time. That's it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
important.
that's
We're all
about it.
adults here.
So how do you be assertive with your time, saying that like you just be like, are you free next week? That's it.
Yeah, basically.
Say yes or no. All right, we'll do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah, but then it's a follow up. If they say no, then they'll follow up. It's like, all right, that's not good for me, but they'll work with you a little bit. So
Okay.
I think as long as you're taking the lead, that's all that matters.
So back to what he was saying about like you were like what? Okay, so
About what?
it's
What'd I
good
say? What'd I
that
say
he
what about?
texts her or vice versa when they're away. Like for one, to make sure that they're both still alive, obviously, but like also to like maintain the communication.
No,
you
but
know, like
I-
in a relationship. You know,
I'm not
Hello?
talking about in relationships though. I'm talking when people are like talking to people.
When they're talking, no.
When they're talking to someone. If I'm married to a woman, of course I'm gonna tell her good morning, good night, and tell her she's beautiful and stuff like that. But if I'm not married to a girl, I'm just dating or seeing someone, I'm not gonna text her good morning, good night
What if y'all official?
every single day.
if y'all official, like boyfriend and girlfriend.
No, I'm not gonna do it every single day. That's ridiculous.
Okay, I agree with not every single day.
Okay.
Every
so,
single Juliana, every single day I'm gonna tell you good morning and good night.
Because think
Like
about it.
over the phone, in person is different. If we're living together, it's different.
Yeah, yeah.
But like if we're not living together, I'm not gonna be suffocating, love bombing you 24/7. Like that's ridiculous.
yeah, but what if it's more of like it's not just like a oh hey good morning and then
Okay.
period. It's kind of like hey good morning like oh man I got this like crazy meeting today or something, or it's like like maybe that person gets in later than you and you're like probably already sleeping and you guys don't live together and you're like oh I just got home I just got home, I'm gonna go to bed now though, like it was like a long day, and you're like good night
but I
or
think it's
whatever.
like it builds
Yeah,
a
it's
routine.
different.
Like it's like a
Yeah.
routine though. Like say for instance, like if you miss like a good morning or a good night, it could be like a like a sign of like oh they're probably pissed off or some shit. So they're not like
You're
you know,
right.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right.
But that's just like one aspect of it.
Yeah,
I just think it's just like it's just unnecessary unless you see them. Like is everything in person is much more better.
Of course, but like what if that's not possible?
Well, then if that's not possible, I'm still trying to reserve as much like attention to in person as possible, or like in over the phone and stuff like that, versus keeping things over text. It's just not the same. It doesn't have the same weight. Like videos and in person is so much better than text.
Yeah. No, that is.
Oh, you know what, Juliana, I'm gonna start messaging you good
I
morning
was just about to
and
tell
good night
you.
on IG. You gonna be like, shut the hell up and leave me alone.
Mute you.
You're gonna be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like,
No.
yeah, you don't like that shit.
I want you to post on your story every morning and night. Good morning and tag me.
Hell no. My ass gonna get muted and blocked by everyone. Jay, shut the hell up. And everyone's gonna be like, this man won't stop saying good morning and good night. And I'll be like, yeah, see, no one like that shit.
But if you were doing it and then you felt like the girl wasn't feeling you anymore, and you back off and you don't say good morning that one time, you make her freak out.
Yeah, she probably would
I
freak
have
out.
heard
That's a tactic.
heard about that too.
See, that's just too much. That's just too much thinking. I don't got time to think like that. I got like when you're talking to a girl and she sends you a text message, you got like a 30-second window to think before you start overthinking your text message or response. So you look at it and you're like, all right, I'm gonna respond with this. Because if you spend more than 30 seconds, you're probably gonna say something stupid.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
That's
Got-
good. Yeah.
So are you a quick texter?
Huh?
Are you a quick texter? Or you don't let it marinate?
If I see someone text me, right, I might let it marinate. I'm not gonna look at it. It's just chilling. Damn, I'm like giving away secrets here. Not everyone knows how I can see. If someone well, like nowadays, I leave my phone away from me, so I actually literally don't see some people's messages. But if I do see someone's message and I don't want to text them back immediately because that's just how the game works. And then once I see it, I will respond.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like I said, you'll overthink it.
It's the read window. He's meaning like once he actually grabs the phone, looks at the message.
Yeah, I'm gonna
30
respond.
seconds to respond.
Yeah.
No, because that's good. Because sometimes if you look at it and you're like, oh, it's too quick, can't respond yet. You might forget, and then it'll be like 3 hours or something. It's pass by,
I've
like,
done that.
ooh.
And you'll just literally say something stupid. Almost
But
everything.
back to your point though, like if you are courting somebody, if you're in the courting phase, dating phase, you don't want to have like conversations through text.
Yes.
Because there's no point in even hanging out.
Yes.
And it'll be like if you're fucking going back, if you're going back and forth like texting and talking to each other on the phone like throughout the day, the girl or the guy's gonna be like, what's the point of even hanging out anymore?
Yes.
Like I'm just saturated by this person throughout the day. I'm like already over it.
100%. 100%.
I have something to say about that. There have been instances where, so actually we meet people through Hinge now, right? There's been instances where if you are too upfront with that and trying to get to the meeting too fast, they'll ghost you. You know, it's like we've gotten to the era where people are a little bit more shy. I feel people hide behind a screen too much now. So they actually want to talk more through like DMs or through text or
for a couple of days, there's vetting. Like, hey, is this person, cool?
Exactly. Like they want to have that type of conversation to feel comfortable before they even do that. And if you just like go off rip, like, hey, what's good, Gianna? What you doing next week? You try to hang out? You'll be like, who the hell is this
premature.
dude?
Yeah.
No, but also too with the texting stuff, like I don't necessarily agree. Like if you text them like throughout the day or stuff, it doesn't leave anything to the imagination when you guys meet. Because like sometimes like you'll have people just like text you about just dumb things like, oh no, my dog ate his food too fast, or like someone like what?
Yeah.
No, it's like like one of those type of things.
Yeah. I don't think it has to go like minute by minute back and forth, but I think like those moments that you guys don't have, like, so what if it's somebody that like someone you're dating around here and like you're like obviously just like still kind of like in a relationship, but it's like you don't really see them like throughout the week or whatever, like yes, you could do the whole like at the end of the day you guys get on FaceTime or something and you're like, oh, this is what I did today, blah, blah, blah. But I don't mind the back and forth throughout the day. Like it doesn't have to be minute by minute. Obviously like we're busy and like, not everyone's on their phone, but I don't see anything wrong with it because it's just kind of like, but you're right. It's like it might not leave any room for mystery when you guys meet in person. But you know what? That boils down to the chemistry.
You're right.
Right? So it's
you're
like I could talk all day to you and talk all week to you, and then finally when I link up with you and like, I mean, I'm not a boring person, so I mean, clearly I can ask questions for days and talk for days. So like, I don't feel like it would be a problem for me. I can see how it would be for other people, but like, some people are more comfortable talking through text, so.
I will say that in regards to like text or in person, maybe I'm speaking from experience that when I was dating people and I was texting way too much, things fizzle out so fast because it gets really redundant and boring. And I feel like as you get older and you have more experience in dating, you kind of get like the vibe of when a conversation is dying and you'll just cut it off, and it's completely okay. But when you're young and you're like in your teens and lower 20s, you know what the hell is going on, man. You're just like, do they like me? Do they not like me? And you just keep like, you start pestering them.
What about double texting?
Oh, I'll be double texting.
Yeah, sometimes I'll be like quadrupling text.
Yeah, I'm gonna text you as many times.
No, because you don't want no Harry Potter novel. We gotta break it in a little,
I agree with that.
Like,
I agree with that.
Like concise like thoughts, like nothing like you're just rambling on and on.
No, I think Christian, you're asking
No,
if
I'm
like
talking about double texting. Like you ask something and then like they
don't
say
respond.
anything.
Oh, shit.
Oh
And
yeah,
you
yeah. I
text
do
them
that all the
again.
time. And you know what I do? I'll be like, like ask the question and it's like some time. It's not like a minute. It's like maybe like 15 minutes. And I look down at my phone. I see no one, like that person didn't respond. I'll be, caps, hello, question mark, exclamation mark. And then, you hold down the send button and you can slam it. Yeah.
I did not know that.
That's what I
You
do.
never done that? You never done the effects?
You can slam it.
Yeah, you can slam it. You can put a spotlight on it.
Yeah,
you can bubble it.
Yeah. Oh, I'll show you after.
And no lie, if the guy's really into you, he's probably gonna like that.
Yeah. They'll probably think it's funny.
Yeah, if a guy's really into you, they probably like that. Or if the girl's really into you, they're gonna like that.
Yeah.
Everything works if a girl or guy likes the other person.
As long as the girl talks more, you're good.
Yeah. I also leave my read receipts on.
Me too. Amen. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you gotta leave a little mystery in there.
Because I want people to know that they're on delivered.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just kidding. Sometimes I really do. Like, I do that a lot. What you said, it's like I might like look at it from like my navigation screen or whatever. And then like, I'm like, oh, I'll respond to it later. And then I'll put it down. But I also I don't clear my messages. So like right now I have like only like 26 messages unread because I got a new phone recently. But usually like if it's not worth responding about, I don't like open it. So if they like, if someone responds to your message and they do like the heart or the like, I don't open to clear it. I just like leave it because it doesn't bother me anymore. But I leave my read receipts on too.
Me too.
Everybody.
Me too.
Everybody.
But I leave my read receipts on for a different reason though.
Why?
Just because I just want to let everybody know that I read your thing.
Oh, okay.
It's like a form of acknowledgement.
It's just I'm just acknowledging that I saw your thing. And if I have never ghosted anybody in my life, so I never have done that. But I would always respond.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Wait, do you ghost people like on Hinge and dating apps then?
no.
Not at all. So if you're talking to them and you're like, the person's kind of boring, but
Actually,
never mind.
you're right. Oh yes, fine. On Hinge, there'd be instances where like you chat with somebody and like, nah, this girl ain't it. And
They
I
give you
just-
one word responses. You're like, oh
Yeah.
no.
But the conversation naturally fizzles out. But have you ever done the whole like, those things on like Instagram or TikTok? They're like, oh, like this person is such a nice way to decline someone. You're like, I had a great time chatting with you, getting to know you. I just don't think that we're like compatible.
That's me. That's my brother. That's me.
That's
you
what,
say that?
That's what just
That's
says.
me. When I have never ghosted a woman in my life, and if I ever want to cut off, I tell them straight up that like, hey, listen, I don't see this going anywhere, and we just end it. Or tell the girl straight up,
Yeah.
I'm just not interested anymore.
Yeah. Because Hinge, I feel like it's okay because like at some point that conversation kind of dies if
Yeah.
you're not doing the back and forth with the questioning
Yeah.
situation. So, I feel like that's okay. Like it's not really considered ghosting. It's like the conversation just dried
Yeah.
up, right?
Yep.
So it's
Or
like,
just give them a one-word response, but yeah, that's it.
yeah. Oh,
Man, I was about to say, Ben Jesse, you a good dude if you're doing all that,
I
man.
know he's not.
That's my brother. I've never.
No, I'm saying if you've done that. No, he was saying you're a good dude if you've done that on Hinge, on dating apps. Like you don't ghost people on dating apps. Because I feel like on dating apps, that's where people ghost people.
I don't think I've ever like straight up ghosting about it. I always just let the conversation die out and just leave it on like a one word like, or if anything, if I see the conversation die and they respond with something short that I can't respond to, I just won't respond. I don't think that's ghosting because she's already initiating it.
Yeah.
But like I've never just up and just like dipped out without saying
Yeah,
nothing.
Question mark.
Or like
and
if
you're
I was ever talking to you about, I've never just ended it without just going ghost somebody. I've always like told them straight, hey, listen,
deep sigh,
I'm
though.
not interested.
You heard that deep sigh?
Yeah.
It happened to you? You got ghosted?
No, I mean,
You be ghosting?
dude, I have in the past.
It's giving toxic energy.
Yes.
And I'm not here for that.
I know. I'm a changed man, okay? I'm working on it. But no, seriously, I am working on it.
Good.
I just think that when you ghost people, it's probably one of the most disrespectful things you can do to somebody because
Yeah.
somebody's expecting some type of like response.
Yeah.
And it's not that like you owe them anything. It's just respectable of
Yeah.
you're not just being like, hey, listen, I'm just not interested anymore.
true.
And I'd rather you want to give people closure.
Yeah.
Instead of just leaving them on red and just
Right.
not saying nothing, sitting there living rent free in their head. Like,
Yeah.
what the heck is going on here?
And especially on a dating app too, right? Like it's respectful because like people, I mean, like we're going back to the point of the dating apps we said, right? That, like the point of them is to date. So it's like people are there for a reason. So it's like you should, if someone's like with Hinge, it's not like I like you, you like me back. It's like, cause someone can like you and then you can open the chat for them. But you don't, doesn't mean you have to respond, obviously. But you are opening the door for them to try and put a toe in, you know? So it's like,
Just one toe.
yeah. So it's like, if you guys are if you do that and then you're engaging in conversation and then like all of a sudden you ghost, it's kind of like, dang, dude, like you like open the door and like you're not even giving me the respect. Like you don't know me, right? But like everyone deserves some level of respect.
Correct. That's fair.
And everyone's there for a purpose. So it's like, you know, be respectful and just be like, hey, you know, like I liked chatting with you, or maybe you didn't. Maybe say that. I don't know. Say something. Say anything because it's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree.
Is it
As a former Casper, that's because I put it in perspective one day. I said, you know what? When someone ghosts me, I don't really feel that great, and I'm like, I feel it's probably the same for them, vice versa. Like if I was to ghost someone, they don't feel
disrespect?
great. Yeah, they probably feel disrespected as well. But I will say on social media, on dating apps, I feel like it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
No,
I really don't think
Yeah.
but versus if I'm going on a couple of dates with somebody or like texting someone, okay, yeah, that's bad. Okay, I agree. I admit that's bad. But if it's on a dating app where you've never even went on a date with them yet, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, I was about to say you're like the second coming of Jesus Christ if you're like doing all that.
I know, right? Because sometimes, not to be shallow, sometimes you like their pic or they like your stuff. You're like, oh, it's just kind of cute. Then you scroll,
Oh man.
or
Take
you
a
get
double take.
You take a double take, or you get their Instagram or something like that. And you're like,
he's doing this right.
and you're like, and you're like, I made a mistake, and then you just, and then it just ends.
No.
And I'm sure people do the same thing to me. They're probably like, I've made a mistake, and they'll like stop talking to me for that reason too. That's just how it is.
I've done that where you match with somebody or you like somebody and they matched you and you take a double take like, oh, second thought. That's not really my type.
I thoroughly evaluate the Hinge profiles before I open the floodgates. And I respond to people. And then, like, you know, there are some instances where I'm like, I don't really know if, like, he looks kind of good in this picture, but this one is a little, you know. But sometimes, like, I'll still, like, open it. But, like, you know, obviously, like, open the door. If you know, you guys know what I mean.
Yes,
right?
yes, I know what you mean. Open the chat. Open the chat.
He was. He was on the Hinge.
Oh, okay, cool. But anyway, so you like allow the entry, right? So, but like when they message me, I only respond to the ones that I'm like, I've in depthly like looked at their stuff.
Analyzing every little pixel.
Yeah. I'm just like, you know, do I really want to, you know, not involve another person in my life?
But the reason why I'm saying that is because girls are much better at setting up their profiles on Instagram. And y'all know all the tricks, all the angles, all the makeup, all the filters, all the Photoshop, all the apps needed to make you guys look amazing. I'm not saying that women are not beautiful, but some girls are just a little better at making themselves digitally beautiful. And sometimes when you get their dating, after you get like their Instagram or something like that, you'll be like, hey man, after the first 6 photos, which were on your Hinge or you're on your dating app, whatever, you're like, it's not as nice anymore.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I know where Jay's.
You know what I mean?
I know where Jay's going with this.
And guys, most of the time, what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
Like
no.
if a guy has some pristine profile, you probably go to his IG. He probably also only has those same 6 photos on his IG.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I have a question.
Shoot.
Okay. So for guys, right? Like a lot of girls use filters, right? Like
Yes.
I use filters. I try to minimize my filter usages because like, you know, I feel like a lot of people see me in person. I hate the way you're looking at me.
I was like, where's this going?
You know what's funny is because like I swear Christian in the past was like, dude, you're always using filters on your like Snapchat or whatever. But
I
like,
sent it to you?
yeah, I remember. I remember you asked. But no, like my Instagram is very like I would say like my grid, right? Is I don't edit my photos at all in terms of like I don't touch like my face. That's too much into like you gotta zoom in too much on like Photoshop or something, and I don't have the brain power for that. But I do. I only edit the like the brightness and the coloration of the photo. But like So my question is like, when you guys like, okay, do you guys like feel that a lot of girls you see on like Instagram, like they don't look like their pictures, like in person, like don't look like themselves in person? Because I will like, like I'll like put on makeup and I'll like look, like I feel like my, face looks good and, I won't need to like use a filter or something like that. And then I'll be like, oh, like, I'll just like ask like one of my like, guy friends or whatever, just guy friend. Be like, oh, like, I was like, do I look pretty? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, do I look like my pictures? And they're like, and I'm like, what? Like, I feel like I look like my photos on Instagram. Like maybe I use a filter on the story post, but like, like,
You want
you
me?
guys notice those things?
It
So
I
you're
would
telling me you
say.
weren't using this on your
I
IG?
would say. I would say for some girls it is very noticeable because you'll be looking at their pictures. You'll be like, why is there like no detail in your face at all? Like it's just like
Right.
it. Like
It's
there's
too
one
perfect.
pixel. It looks one filter. It looks like it's like one filter. It looks really not. It makes your face look unclear.
snatched.
So like yeah.
Yeah.
So unclear that it looks clear. Does that make sense?
Pairs?
No, there's like it's just like it's like a filter or something. They take a picture of their
Skin, like,
face,
perfect.
and it literally makes
There's
them
a
look like
filter,
there's
yeah.
not a single blemish on their face. I'm like, it looks too perfect, and no one's face is that perfect. It does
Yeah.
not exist. That's the type of stuff that guys will look for. I mean, yeah, you're changing the temperature or whatever. That's fine. Like I do that too. Like if I take a picture under like really blue light, I'll put some warmth in there because it just makes your picture look better.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But like that's okay. But when you're doing all the other crazy filters and stuff where you're trying to like hide certain things, and also another thing is girls know their angles better than guys. I know girls, they have the same facial angle in every single one of their photos. Every single one. It's just the same place in a different in a different degrees, but their face is at the same angle. So like, how the heck am I supposed to know what the other side of your face looks like?
It's
That's not
secret.
their good angle. It's like the other side of the moon. You don't know what-
That's what I'm saying, man. You see the other side, like that's not too bad.
I
I guess.
disagree. I don't think every guy can tell.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't
Guys
think-
are stupid.
Yeah, I don't think every guy can tell.
Yeah.
But I think that if you are knowledgeable enough, you can tell. Can
Yeah.
you tell, Mike?
about like filters and stuff like that. Yeah, I can tell.
Okay.
It's because like I've seen them out in like public. So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So like, I mean, like sometimes like you'll see like a picture and then like you see the person like in real life. I was like, you're like 30% of like that photo.
Yeah, see, I fear that. I don't like that.
Me too. Every person
Do
fears
I look
that.
like my...
Yes.
Okay, good.
Well,
see-
IG is you put the best version of yourself on IG.
Yes.
Everything that you do, even if it's just a random ass picture, like you put the best foot forward in your life, your picture. So I think, in the back of everyone's minds, it should always be like, okay, this is probably not them in real life.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to base my assumptions or judgment based off of their IG.
That is true.
But I guess if you are meeting somebody on a dating app and you ask for their IG, that's all you base it off of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just when there's like a big contrast between photos. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
if there's like a massive contrast, you're like, hey, yo, there was.
Yeah.
I know an example, but I'm not obviously not going to say it.
You don't want to say it?
No.
Okay. I will.
With the tease.
I want to know. Wait, what are we talking about? What are we?
He said he has an example, but he doesn't want to say it.
Is this someone we know?
No, someone we talked about in this room.
Okay, I'm scared. I want to know now.
Me?
No.
Oh.
No.
I'm like, I'm in this room.
No, okay.
Obsessed with
Oh,
Jesse.
oh.
Oh, yes,
Yes, you're right.
Obsessed
She is.
with who?
She is prime example of
Girl,
that.
that's some girl that's like obsessed with me right now, but I'm not about her at all.
Okay, we'll talk
Talked
about it
her. We
after.
talked
Yeah,
about
we'll
it.
talk about it later. But yeah, there's this girl like she's like on my ish, but I'm like my interest level is probably like negative 1 million.
Oh,
Again,
damn.
see what I'm
You told me
saying?
about her.
I did? Okay, cool. We're going to talk about this after.
Okay. So I think that when it comes to women, this is just in my experience, I think like 50% of them are catfishing.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I would say that overall in like the dates that I've been on, when I go on Hinge, like 50% of them are catfish. Or actually, catfish is a harsh word. I would say they're almost every girl that I see is probably at least minimum 1 point below. If they're a 7 or 8 on the social dating, if I would rank them, they're probably a 7 or 8. If I see them, they're probably 1 point below.
One low. Yeah, that makes sense.
But in
Let me go
general,
back
but
and look at
then
mine.
I've met girls who are basically like they look like a 7, but they're really a 4 in person.
Yeah. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, it is really bad. Like there's been instances where I'm like, oh dang it, oh man.
You know what I think about? I think the closer to their face their picture is, the less likely of a catfish it is. But when they got those super zoomed out photos where it's like, but it's not as far. It's like when it's far out. Like if someone's taking a photo from where Christian is of me, that's when it's like bigger, more likely to be a catfish. But when they're taking like those full on selfies, like if you're right across from a coffee table, like from me to you. It's a lot less likely that's a catfish. She can't hide.
I will say this is not 100% when it comes down to it. I think the ones that wear the most makeup are the ones with a higher probability of catfishing.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm worried about because like on TikTok.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you ever get photo with somebody and you just like meet them up? It's like who? Like,
Yeah,
who's this?
yeah. So
yeah,
like,
without makeup on.
Yeah, like they're hungover. I'm just
yeah, if I see a girl with like, that's why like one of my biggest turnoffs. If I see a girl wear way too many, like she's contouring her like forehead, I can see that she's contouring her cheeks and everything. I'm like, you do not look like that. Come on now. Her like the contours on the nose is completely centered, so her nose is so sharp. I'm like,
Yeah.
bruh.
Some girls be contouring the cleavage too, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, the collarbone. I'm like,
I don't want it to be like where I'm like super drastic from like I've seen some TikToks and they transform themselves. And it's like it's definitely amazing and it's cool that they can do that. Like I'm not really good at makeup. I know what to put on my face, but like, you know, I'm not like no makeup artist or whatever. But yeah, like I mean like I do like contouring too, but like I already have high cheekbones, so like when I smile, they're like, you know, touching my eyes and shit. But like for me, I don't do it for like the acknowledgement of men though. Like I feel like I'm kind of past that time in my life. Like if you like me at this point, then you freaking like me, and that's all good and well. But like I do a little contour on my nose. Like I don't really got
That's
a nose,
fine.
so
That's
like I do
chill.
a little contour or whatever. But like without makeup on, like I feel like I look pretty much the same. And I think like you've probably the most.
No, you're
And
pretty much
Christian,
the same.
yeah,
overall.
like I mean, yes, like I have my eyebrows microbladed, so that obviously helps because otherwise I'd be looking crazy. But you know, and I get my lashes done and stuff like that. But for the most part, like my day to day, like I just like I don't like wear makeup. I wear a lot of like you guys have probably heard it, but concealer. A lot of females use concealer, mostly for like blemishes and shit. So like you know like. I don't like when my skin is uneven, right? Like I've been like I told you I've been dealing with like breakouts and stuff. So like I want myself, I feel better for myself. So the same thing that we were talking about earlier about like womanhood, like feeling like a woman, you know, about the whole breast situation. It's like the same, I think it goes for the same for like women in terms of like their face. So like their usage of makeup is just like, you know, to make them feel like, more like more like feminine, more like a a woman, and like you can, as long as you use it like in moderation and like you're not completely skewing yourself.
That's
I
what I'm
think
saying.
that's important, but
see, you like I said, you on a good, like Mike said, you're on a good level. But there's some women out there who just go OD, like it's like
Yes.
completely different.
Yes.
I told you, I've been on dates and I'd be like, oh man, and I'm too nice of a guy to like not go through with this. I'm like, I'm already here.
Yeah, and that's so unfortunate to come to that and then be like, oh, like, dang, like what the hell? Like,
That's exactly what my mom said.
Who is this? Like I would be so like distraught.
Yeah.
Like,
But I have had cases where they didn't look good as in their pictures. They look better in person too. That's happened.
It works both ways. It works both ways.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah,
Just hope and pray.
I was mostly talking about like the filters, like on like Instagram story, I guess. Like
Oh, those are whatever.
A lot of people use those, and then they'll post it on their grid too. But like those like filters that like really contour you,
Wait, they
it's
do?
like
I thought they just changed the lighting.
No, they have different.
No, not the ones you swipe on. The one that you like select down at the
Yeah,
bottom.
yeah. There's some that I use them, but they're like I use them to like they'll change the shading of like a picture. I didn't know they contour your face.
Oh yeah, it's like Snapchat.
What? I've never used the face contouring ones. Man, that's a whole new world.
Yeah, like I mean, even this. If you look like even like the Snapchat ones, like even like the dog one.
I know the dog one. It's
Yeah.
slim people's faces.
Yeah, but like you can see too. So if you try to block off like part of your face, just so you can see like the outline of the filter, you can see where it tries to like it snatches people. That's why I mean like that's why females like to use them
Get
because they're like
snatched. Get
I didn't know.
snatched.
I learn something new every day.
yeah.
Dang, I
Well,
did not know that.
I don't know. I mean like.
I'm about to be looking at people. Hey, is that a filter I see? Okay, never mind.
I mean, but you can also tell from the top. You'll
that's what I'm
see,
saying.
like-
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna paying extra attention to
Yeah.
that top filter
But
now.
usually it's because I feel like a lot more women now use those filters based off of like when it's like when you're in the dark and you have to use flash.
Okay, I see
Like
what you're
that
saying.
front camera flash is not it, and you don't need to be looking at everything.
Should invent a better one.
But it's like,
Portable flash.
yeah, I need to get one of those. It's very loud though. It's like, bam. Too much.
All right. Final thoughts, anybody? No final thoughts?
Filters or no filters?
I'm gonna say if a girl has to wear makeup to feel good about herself, more power to her.
Yeah.
I feel like every girl probably wants to wear makeup, but just don't go OD on it. Don't go so much that like if I'm hugging you, half your face is on my shirt.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, yeah. No, it's probably like what Christian said. Like, yeah, if you like wearing it, more power to you. But doesn't mean that the rest of us like it. Right? So.
Yeah.
I think that, tack on to that. I'm going to say use makeup and cosmetics to enhance your look,
Period.
not be your look.
Yes,
Period.
it's fair.
Okay?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Enhance your look, not be your look. All right. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Leave a comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you all next time. Peace.
Peace.